Okay, so what we're going to do today is we are going to be reviewing the distributive property. And the distributive property is when we start taking apart things so we can use them to relate to other facts. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to do your application problem. So with this application problem, here is your application problem. So Miss Williams draws the array below to show the class seating chart. She sees the students in 4 rows of 7 when she teaches at board 1. So board 1 is right here. Use the commutative property to show how Miss Williams sees the class when she teaches at board 2. So think about what we did yesterday with the multiplying and kind of think about what 2 multiplication facts would you use? Like how many rows of something, how many rows of whatever, how are they related? So take a minute, figure out how would she see. So read the problem again, and then when you are prompted, put your answer in. Okay, so let's talk about it. So when she's at board 1, she sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. She sees 7 rows of 4. And when she's at board 2, she looks at 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of 7. So it would be 4 times 7 or 7 times 4 using that commutative property, which we did yesterday. So what I want you to do is I'm going to extend it just a little bit more. And I want you to think, how many students total? And put your answer in. So 7 times 4. 7 times 4 is 28 students. Okay, so that was a little bit of a review from yesterday, so let's go forward. Okay, so let's go into today's concept. So what we remember about the distributive property is that we need to break them apart to make math just a little bit easier. So what I want to do is I want to shade the part of the array that shows 4 times 5. So I'm just going to go 1. That's 1 times 5, 4. 2 times 4. 3 times 4. 4 times 4. 5 times 4. So this is equal to 5 times 4. So how can we box out an array that shows 5 times 4 plus 1 times 4? What would we have to do? We would have to shade in 1 more row. Okay, so this is really equal to 6 times 4 total, because we have our 5 times 4 here, then we have another row. So all together, it is equal to 6 times 4. But sometimes 6 times 4 is not an easy one for us to figure out. So we have to take it apart and then put it all together. So this would be 6 times 4. So we know 5 times 4 is 20. And we know 1 times 4 is 4. So 20 plus 4 is 24. I'm hoping that this is something that you're remembering because we did it before, but let's try it again. So let's try another problem. Let's try 7 times 4. So total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows. So we're talking about this chunk right here. 7 times 4 isn't a fact that we know very easy, but we do know 2 times 4, and we could do 5 times 4. So we're just chunking our array into sections that are just easier for us to solve. So if we did 2 times 4, that is equal to 8, plus 5 times 4 is 20. So then we just have to do 8 plus 20 is 28. So 7 times 4 is 28. So let's try one where you guys are the one doing the math. Let's try 9 times 4. So the first thing that we need to do is think about how can we divide 9 times 4. So if we had our array and we had 9 rows, 8, 9, how can we divide this up into pieces that are easier for us? I think 5s are really easy. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to be one chunk. So that would be 5 times 4. And then what we'd have left is 4 times 4. So when we're doing this out, we would have 5 times 4 plus 4 times 4. What's 5 times 4? 20. What's 4 times 4? 16. And then we would just have to add them together. 20 plus 16 is 36. So 9 times 4 is 36. Using that distributive property makes it a lot easier. Let's try one more. Let's try 8 times 4. So I'm going to draw a quick array. So I know I have 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 8 times 4. So there's a couple ways that we could do this. So what I want you to do right now in the answer box is type in how would you divide this. So what would you have? Blank times blank plus blank times blank. What would be, fill in your equation. What are you going to do to break this apart? So some of the possible ways that you guys could do this is you could do 4 times 4 plus 4 times 4. I really like 5s, so I would do 5 times 4 plus 3 times 4. If you like your 6s, you could do 6 times 4. You could do 3 times 4 plus 5 times 4, which would be the same thing as the one above. There's a couple, I think those are probably the 2 easiest ways. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to pick one, and I want you to solve it out for me. When I say solve it out, I want you to say, okay, these 2 together multiplied equals this. These 2 equal this. I'm going to add them, and I'm going to get my answer. So in the box, I want you to tell me what the answer is. Use the whiteboard if you need to solve your problem. Okay, so let's talk about the answer. I'm going to use the 5 times 4 and the 3 times 4. So 5 times 4 is 20, plus 3 times 4 is 12. So 20 plus 12 is 32. 8 times 4 is equal to 32. So next you guys are going to do your problem set. And I think you guys should be able to complete the whole thing. You're going to have more than enough time. Okay, so you guys are going to go into the problem set next, and I'm sorry, but the top is cut off. So what it says is you're solving for 6 times 4. You're solving for 6 times 4. So it's really the last thing that you're going to fill in is that top line of 6 times 4. So what they've already done is they've divided it up for you. And they're telling you that 6 times 4 is equal to 5 times 4, or 5 rows times 4, plus 1 times 4. So they've already told you 5 times 4 is 20. So 1 times 4 is 4. And this is bottom part, this box right here, this is where some of you guys got confused last time, because the way that they've set it up. And if you guys just kind of follow along, it should be a lot easier. So we know 5 times 4 is 20, that goes here. 1 times 4 is 4, that's going here. And then you're going to add the 2 together, and that's going to go right there. So what they've done is they have added it up. They've told you how to divide it here and here. For number 2, they've told you how to divide or distribute 7 times 4. They've told you how to do it. So you guys need to do the math. Near the bottom, they're giving you some more blanks if you guys need to figure it out. On the back, you match the balloons and then definitely give number 3 a try. Okay, if you have any questions, make sure you ask Mrs. Stevens. If Mrs. Stevens isn't sure, see if you can ask a partner and see how we can go from there. And if not, we can work on it tomorrow. Good luck.